Hi! It's Sharon. How are you guys? Welcome to a live. I haven't done a live in a hot minute. Kind of a little bit of a break from them. I was doing them pretty regularly when I was doing the 10 minutes a day, which I still am. I'm just doing it off camera and sharing it with you guys. So, anyways, I needed to get on and do it and say hi to you guys in person, and especially not today. We had our release from Made by Marley. We've got 13 new papers, and if you like color, and if you like maximalism, if you like boho, I mean, this paper is for you. Lael from Made by Marley did not disappoint. Just wonderful paper all around. I actually did a video yesterday that I messed up somehow. I don't know how. Where I walked through my favorites, and for some reason it looked like it was recording, but it actually didn't record, so you didn't get to see anything yesterday. But hopefully you got my emails this morning. They're on my site. I want to focus on one that I fell in love with when I got my papers last week, and just tell you a quick little story, and then we'll get right into it. So that's the paper that I like is called For Tom, and you'll see it in a minute. And it's a very bird oriented. And Lil was asking me, which paper was my favorite for this stockist spotlight that she had done. And oh, Marla's here. Hey, Marla. I guess I should introduce myself and say hi to everybody. But I'm Sharon from the Accidental Art Maker. I'm just so excited. I got right into things, so sorry about that. But my name is Sharon. I'm the Accidental Art Maker. I've been upcycling furniture for over 10 years, and I've been a stockist of many wonderful brands for about 2.5 years. So started stalking Lael from Made by Marley online probably about 2 years ago, and just fell in love with everything about her. And then when I heard that she was looking for stockists for her decoupage paper, I was like, sign me up. I love everything about her. I want to be Lael when I grow up. Anyways, hey, Deanna, furniture middle name. Okay, yes, and I think I remember you from another email as well. But anyways, I've been doing this for about 2 years now, and I'm doing it. To me, like, my whole mission is not. It's obviously about creating art, but it's also like. I'm very much in love with, being in midlife and figuring out how to get through the struggles of it. Most of my customers are women in midlife. And if you've been on my site, then you know my mission is to enable you, women in midlife and older, to discover or rediscover yourself through creating art. I think that's so important. And it can be anything, right? Like, I like upcycling furniture. I do everything. I do from small to big. But trying to get me, to sew or take pictures, not going to happen. Poetry, no. This is my creative outlet. I encourage all women to find theirs. And as you probably also know, that I've been doing 10 minutes a day since the beginning of the new year. And it has really changed so much about my approach to doing art and how I do art and what I'm creating, the chances that I'm taking, and just motivating myself. You can probably see my messy room right here. I probably should be spending 10 minutes a day cleaning, but why would I want to do that? So yes, Marla wants to be like Lil too when she grows up. All right. So anyways, back to the For Tom paper. I picked it. So I didn't know anything about the backstory about it from Lael. I picked it because it has these beautiful birds on it. My dad loved watching birds when we were little. I grew up on the coast in Virginia, and purple martins were the thing back in the day. We had a purple martin house, and there were purple martins all over the place, and everything that goes along with birds and bird feeders and all that stuff. And so this paper really reminded me of my dad. And I love birds now too. I used to make fun of him, but now I've got my little geek book where I can identify birds, and I've got a bird feeder. Well, I don't have a bird feeder per se. I have a place where I put bird seed. So anyways, so I just picked this paper up because it reminded me of my dad. And his birthday is coming up in March, and he died in February, like 20 years ago. But you know, he was my main parent, and so it turns out that Lael, the paper Lael had for Tom, it was for Tom, who was her dad too, who also passed away, who she misses and loves dearly also. So it was just kind of like one of those strange goosebump coincidences that happened, and super duper. I don't know. When I heard that, I was like, okay, now I have to create with this paper. All right, so let's get going. I am using some pretty new software, so there might be some mess ups. Let's see. I want to show you guys a video. I'm going to show you this piece of furniture that I picked out. I'm going to show you what I've done to it so far, and I can always hit pause and answer any questions that you guys have. So here we go. So I want to show you guys a picture. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can do this. Let me go back here. It'll be worth it. Just give me 1 second here. And then I have to go over here because I want you guys to see what I started with. So I started with this. I got this from Buy Nothing. I know you guys will be very surprised to hear I got it for free. But I mean, I don't know. I think it's pretty ugly. But like, if you can take away, if you could take like all the colors that, you know, that we love, if you can take, you know, the stamps or the transfers that you love and imagine super printing them on top, you don't see ugly, you see something that you're going to create and make beautiful, right? Right. All right. So now let's get back to this video here. So I had grabbed a can of Bohemian Blue and put a coat of paint all over it. Yes. And let it dry. Okay. And so these two areas, when I was painting here, Larry, hey Larry, how are you? Good to see you here.
Hey, I can't complain. Thanks for asking.
Oh, that story wants to join the conversation. Oh, look, give me 1 sec. Okay. Now this jumped ahead while I was not paying attention. Let me backtrack a little bit here. Sorry. Okay. So, okay. Now I'm going to pause here. Okay. So that area where those two arrows are right there, that is where, I don't know, when I was painting, I was really focusing on these two areas. Like, what would I want to go in those little panel areas? Because to me, they kind of seem like where you see like that outline of the frames around it. There's just so much that you can do with color and pattern and paint in those two little areas right there. And then I was chatting with Marla, and we were talking about that center area. So where it has like that little, it was metal, and I painted over it, and I took one of the handles out and I left the other handle on. I usually do handles last. And we were talking about doing, Marla, help me out. I'm like brain dead. I'm thinking molds and air dry clay, and Marla was suggesting that I use. I can totally picture it in my head, Marla, but I can't think of the word. It's like that Sculpey stuff that you put on, and you can like caulking, but it's not caulking. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Anyways, so I'm still playing about what to do in that middle area right there, but it's also kind of key because it will draw those two boxes together. Up on that furniture there, you can see one of the sheets of paper from For Tom. Let's keep going here. Plaster. Thank you, Marla. And thank you, Deanna. Okay, let's get back to this. So I decided what I wanted to do was to cut out the little birds in the paper and put them in that rectangle area right there. So here you can kind of see me. Usually I don't cut. Usually I rip. Let me hit the pause button right here. Usually I rip the paper because then it makes it easier to do transition to paint or stamping or whatever it is that you want to do. But I wanted to experiment this time with very clear-cut areas of what is the decoupage paper and what's outside of it. And I've been going through this kind of art lately where it's like, what are we uncovering? What's behind the scenes? We've got what we want people to see, but like what is behind the scenes? And so that's what I was thinking about here. Like there's this very clear-cut area, something very pretty, but like what else is going on that we can't see? So and there are two drawers. They're drawers. They're not doors. It's like a side table, basically. So let's go back here. And so I'm focusing, I'm starting out with this area right here, and I'm putting my decoupage medium on it. I use DIY liquid patina for that. And so one of the comments I got a while ago was, how do you do decoupage? Can you do more videos on that? Yes, I can. I was very scared of decoupage until about 2 years ago, and I started doing it. And then I just forget that, it's pretty straightforward. You put down your medium, and then you put your paper on top. You smooth it down with your hands, and then do I have it around here anymore? Oh yeah. And then you take like saran wrap and you smooth it down so that you get out all the wrinkles. So here you can kind of see me going in, and I'm placing that bird into that corner. I tuck it in, and I purposely cut the wings out. I want the wings to go outside of the frame. And then that little V area, pattern area right there, I want that to go outside and on outside that main area and up on the frame as well. So here you can see me using my little high-tech tool, and I'm smoothing it down. And there's still wrinkles there. They're gone now. I mean, essentially once the medium dries, I put on already another top coat on top of it of the liquid patina, and I let it dry overnight, and most of the wrinkles are gone. And what wrinkles aren't gone, I hit it with a hot gun and they just disappear. So now you can see me smoothing down the wings. And what I end up doing here is yeah, exactly. You wait till it's dry before going over it with a second coat. So I did wait for it to dry. Thank you for that. Feel free to jump in and add your best practices. I just do things so much now, I forget to break it down sometimes. So my apologies for that. So yeah, so high-tech tool, I'm smoothing it down, and you can see I've got that overhang up on top. So I decide to cut that with an X-Acto blade, and I glue it to the square on top. What didn't you know? Did you know about the high-tech tool? Is that what you didn't know about? Okay, and I think you're going to see me come in here and cut this with my X-Acto blade, but you can really see the wrinkles here, huh? I did not do such a good job. I'm standing up and I'm looking down at it. When I was looking down at it, it looked perfectly fine. So, oh no, look, I'm going for the other side. I'm just going to let that dry. Yeah, so the reason that you use this instead of your hands, when you rub it, causes heat and friction, and then you can start pulling the paper up. This right here, when you use this to smooth the saran wrap in a little ball, it doesn't cause that friction. So you can go in there and smooth it without like worrying about damaging the paper. On the side that you see me working on right now, I actually did damage the paper a little bit, but I was able to, with my hands, actually my fingernail, I was able to go in there and fix it with glue. So, okay, I think we're probably, yeah, you can see me laying it down there on that side. So now I've got the two birds facing each other, and I'm already loving it. I love this paper. It's very happy colors. It's happy birds. It's springtime. We all know what birds do in springtime, right? They're making baby birds. They're building their nests. They're having lots of fun. It is their time of the year. So I was kind of picturing that these two birds were like checking each other out and like flirting a little bit and doing the bird things. Yeah, letting it dry. Oh, okay. So that's where my mind was. I have tons of birds outside, as I mentioned, and yeah, they're all very happy birds right now because of the bird seed I put from them. So here I am with an X-Acto blade, carefully cutting this paper across the top. I'm going in from the back end, and I'm making sure not to stab my thumb. Do not hurt yourself if you work with X-Acto blades. Yeah, so you can see it's a little bit rough. It's all good. It's all good. And you can kind of see there, it's pretty, and then that's where I break it with my fingernail. There we go. Nice going, Sharon. Okay, so that video is done. Oh, what does Larry say? Spritzing the paper after you apply it to your surface. Spritz it with water, Larry? Probably. Okay, so now I'm going to flip back to here. Let me get rid of this. Do I ever sand it? I'll sand it if I want to sand back the edges, but I won't. Or if I'm trying to make it look, here I am. If I'm trying to make it look, vintage or all right, I'm sorry. Now I gotta like focus on my cameras here. Here we go. All right. So now where are we with this magnificent piece of art? Let's flip this around. Okay. So here's the sides. I'm gonna leave the front for last, and here's why. Because if I'm gonna mess up, I'm gonna mess up on the side where most likely somebody is not going to be able to see it. I want to have learned a lot about the paper and the colors that I'm using before I get to the front. So I'm going to move the camera here. So you can see up on top there, I've got some colors picked out. And what I'm picturing is this. When I'm kind of going back to so yes, spritz it with water is what Larry was saying. I will try that. So this is what I'm thinking about here. I'm thinking about the bird is taken off from the ground. So it's all part of the story, right? You got the two birds meeting each other. And now for some reason, this bird is taking off, right? Like maybe she's going to go check out some other guy and see what he's got to offer in the way of a nest or finding food, important things, right? And so what I'm just simply picturing and all I'm going to do tonight is come in with some colors. I want her to look like she has taken off. So I want underneath her to be like grass or green or something like that. And then you see how like her tail kind of points down at an angle. I want like a green going off like on an angle down towards the bottom. Like she's like I want it to go down and off, like down to the lower half of that piece right there. So I want it to go down, and then above that, I'm thinking, so that top rim, do you see where that blue band is of that awesome pattern? So I'm thinking about extending blue there. And then there's that orange, right? Where can I use that orange? That's so beautiful. Or do I only want there to be that orange? And that can be like the main focus of the paint. So maybe I don't need orange off to the side. Maybe it's just blue down to the green. Or maybe, do you see like where there's like where her top wings, not her tail is what's pointing down to the ground, but how her top wings are up in flight. And then there's all that orange energy around her wings. I mean, maybe there's some like radiating off of her wings onto the side. So that's what my brain's thinking about doing tonight, is just to figure out like what colors work well, just bold out of the can colors. And then I'll be able to take a look at it after it's dried, and I'll say like that orange needs some more red and that blue is too bright. I need to I need to dumb it down a little bit. So with that said, I'm going to leave this part of the camera I'll be able to come back here and check comments every once in a while, but I'm going to get painting now. And I hope you guys stick around. We're 20 minutes in. I'm probably going to be painting for about 10 more minutes. And we're going to change the way this whole thing looks from the side. Okay, you guys ready? All right, let me see. Hide this. both cameras. No, here we go. I haven't used it. I mean, I'm loving this new platform, but there is a learning curve. Okay, let's see what people are saying. Uh-oh. Can you guys hear me? Give me a thumbs up. Let me know if you guys can hear me, because somebody said no sound. I hope you guys can hear me. Oh, you know what happened? When I turned off this camera, my sound went away. So that whole time, you guys couldn't hear anything. Classic Sharon. Sorry. Yes, I'm so sorry about that. All right, so I will leave this camera on. My husband bought me a mic, and it's a really nice mic. I need his help setting it back up because he's shown me a couple times, and then I forget. It's like one more thing I have to do, but it makes such a big difference, and I need to like just add that to my repertoire. All right, what do you guys think of the green? What do you think of the green? Let's see, can I move this? Oh, no. Okay, let's try this. So are you guys liking the green? So Amanda is asking a quick recap of Venus. Okay. I was telling this great story, Amanda, about, this masterpiece that I was going to create. So basically I was just talking out loud. I was pretending I had, stereo speakers plugged into my brain. You guys could hear everything that was going on inside of it. But essentially what I was doing was talking about the green and adding that as the grass. And when I first dipped my brush in, I had too much water. So there was water going all over the place. And I was just mixing it up and trying not to look like an idiot for having too much water in my paint. And then I noticed that underneath the bird's chest, you can't see it from here. And I didn't notice it last night. But the paper's up. So like I did not do a good job with the liquid patina and smoothing that part down and making sure but I can go back and do that. So it's like, not like it can't be recoverable. So I've got this green going down here. And then, so my next question to you guys is that blue that I was holding, is that an all over thing over here? Or what do you guys think about carrying out some of the orange? Like I could have a band of orange, or I could have a stripe, and I could have the brighter blue on either side. So, and then I don't remember if I was, oh yeah, it's going to be more than just the solid color, Marla. There's going to be more stuff going on in here. I'm not sure what though. Like, but I want it to like represent land and sky or energy. I'm just not sure what, but definitely more will be happening. I'm just getting going. So the green is it's a bright green, but is it grass? Well, I don't know. Maybe it's a hill. Maybe it's a mountain in the background. So the name of the green is Salty Kiss, and Larry, just so you know that. And then what we have, we've got Deanna saying, yeah, it's the key part, or it could be the hill part. But so like the thing, right? It's starting out that way, but 4 days from now, this whole side could look completely different, and everything I will have messed up something along the way. Things will have evolved. I will have added stamps or transfers, or maybe more decoupage paper. I might come in and hand paint things in here. And it's going to change. It's going to change. Like if you guys got my email today, you notice in the background behind the decoupage papers, I had the Bohemian stamp, which I haven't used, I think, since spring on a live show yet. So yeah. So I think so I'm thinking Bohemia for this, but I want to think about it. Like I want to put these colors in, and I want to look at it before I go to sleep tonight. And I want to tell myself, Yeah, I layer and layer. I want to give my brain some downtime to think about like, hey, what stamp would actually look really good on this? So, for example, we've got the birds and the bees stamp, right? I could come in here and stamp on birds and come in and hand paint the birds. So there could be two very different types of birds. Like we've got the one flying in the air. We've got the ones that are on the ground that look different. And then we've got like the sky or the orange energy behind it. And I could do something completely different there, right? Like I could find a bird from another decoupage paper. I could just want to go in there and hand paint something, or I could go back to stamps that have patterns, like I could do like solid orange there, and I could come back in with that blue and stamp blue on top of it, and it would give it that energy, right? Like that, because that's really what I feel from this is energy and love. And I want to think about my dad, and I want there to be a story here. I like telling stories as I'm creating my art. Like I can say, I'm going to upcycle this side table. When I get the medium, that's one of the things I love about the decoupage paper and the transfers. It's like they help me start the story. Like I look at them and it reminds me of something in my past, or maybe something, or it triggers something, and I just start telling stories. And so for me, the story started with my dad and his love of birds. So, I mean, like maybe these birds are in the spiritual world. Like my mom recently passed away. Maybe this is about my mom and my dad who didn't get along so well on earth, but maybe now there's, realm, and, like, I don't know, like, it's really hard to say. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I know this is the start. And if you've been watching my 10-minute series, it's all about starting. It's about, and I'm going to go to the big screen here so I have impact, but it's about, you don't wait to get motivated or inspired. I mean, that 9 times out of 10 for us mortal human beings, that kind of stuff doesn't, like, I am not a genius, right? Like I am creative and I am smart, but like I don't come up with some master plan and paint or create art. And I don't get inspired that way. I get inspired by starting something and seeing what happens, and that motivates me. And then everything starts like ticking, and then I get inspired and I come up with that idea. I come up with that stamp that's going to look awesome in it. Yes, because eventually it starts coming together someplace up here, but I really just need to start, and that's what I'm doing here. I'm starting. Yes, fighting birds. I could have the birds be happy on the front, but on the sides they're heading in opposite directions, and but I probably won't be going down that trail. I really do like looking up the birds out the window and remembering how my dad would, try to keep the squirrel out of the bird feeder. We had a squirrel. I don't know if you guys remember The Far Side with Gary Larson. The fattest, biggest squirrel in the world taunted my dad from 20 yards away for about 3 years, and then mysteriously disappeared. I don't know what happened to it. Maybe my dad does. But anyways, it's like stuff like that. Like these memories pop up, and who knows? Maybe I'll think about putting a scroll on this. I don't know. All right. So I heard from Amanda Orange. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to paint orange kind of coming off the wings. Let's go back over here. Let's see. Stamping a clock somewhere. Why a clock? Did I say something? Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. Like, I don't know how much representation of actual things. I don't know. That's like, I had to keep that's like, I'll think about that. Cause I was thinking more about patterns But you could make a pattern out of any stamp pretty much, right? I could stamp clocks side by side. I could also go in there and stamp birds along the bottom, that little ridge right there where, I mean, that could be the ground that birds are sitting on, and maybe the bottom base where it's green, maybe I'm putting something like flowers down there or something like that. So, time back when I was a child. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. The passage of time. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, gosh. And this, especially like so much time has passed. All right, so let's go back to colors. So I think I'm going to do like blue across the top, and then I'm going to do orange down the middle, with the idea that I probably will be seeing where is it too much orange? Is it fighting with the orange in the decoupage paper? Is it looking like, how does it look against the green? So I'm going to do the blue, I'm going to do the orange, and then that's it for actual painting tonight. And the rest is just, figuring out what it is I want to do next, and hopefully waking up tomorrow with a great idea. So I'm going to leave this camera on. You won't see anything happening in this little square here, but you'll be able to hear me talk over there. All right, let's go. Okay. I need a producer. I need like a film producer, someone to help me out here, because sometimes being a one-woman show is challenging. All right, so we're gonna do blue first. And I haven't used this blue in a while, but you can tell I've used it a lot, right? It's called a blue iris. And it is pretty. It needs some water. So when you open it up and see that dry rim, I knew already I hadn't painted for a while. All of that can be reconstituted with water. So what I'm actually going to do is I've got my little glass of water right here. And if it's dry like that on top, I know it's going to need a little bit of water down in there in the bottom. And then I'm going to take this paintbrush. And I'm not going to, normally I would try and reconstitute this, but I'm not going to do that since I'm doing a live. I'll go back in and fix it later. And now I got my blue. All right. This is a bright blue. So the bohemian blue is underneath. Look at that blue. It's very much, oh, sorry, I got too much here. It's very much matches this blue in here, which I thought it would. But I just want like a little bit of a band right here. All right. Let's see here. And because I put a top coat on, you see where it's kind of going down and I don't want it to go down? I can just take a baby wipe and wipe it back. I have a little bit too much water. I did not do a good job mixing it. So it's going to come in here. I'm going to wipe it back a little bit. I don't want it to be too heavy of a blue. I don't know. I kind of like it. Do you see how there's like the blue right here coming off the tail wing? So maybe, let's get that there. So, I mean, so here's where I'm going off script, right? So like I've got this blue here, and okay, and then now I want some orange. All right, so let's get the orange. This is a new jar. It's called Fire Starter. Let's see. It is a very bright orange color. All right. I'm going to wipe back this strip right here. Okay. There should not be any dripping from this because no water was involved. That's a bright orange, people. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Now I'm going to do a little plug. If you're watching me, please like or subscribe. If you're on YouTube, would love if you would subscribe and like this video. Maybe share it with people who you know could appreciate whatever quirky thing I've got going on tonight. I would really appreciate it. Okay, so back here, shameless plug done. I'm just coming in here. And this is where the voices in my head are like, what are you doing? It looks so stupid. That orange is too orange. Don't get too close to that blue. Are you sure you know what you're doing? So, welcome to the voices in my head. All right. And then I'm going to come up here. That's kind of dripping in right there. Hopefully, I had a little bit of a mess. I am going to come in here because I really want to see. Gosh, these blue and orange kind of reminds me a little bit of my high school colors from many years ago. For sure, I need to do something here, right? Like what I'm imagining is like the bread. See how it goes? It's like got the red in here. So imagine like bands of red in here as well. And then in the blue, see how there's green up here in the wings? So imagine some of that green streaming through also. But if you look at the overall shape and flow, I really like it. So I like how, you know, we got like the tail coming out here. And you know, what's being left behind for the bird? I don't know. So I don't think I want to put orange down here, but I know I don't want the blue either. So I might just leave that the bohemian until I figure out more what it is I want to do there. All right. I mean, that could be like a really big band. I mean, I could just make more green down there too. But I really like the idea of like the bird taking off and like there's all this energy coming out from behind it or something. I don't know. All right. But I do know that this is my stopping point because if I do any more right here, it is, give you guys a close up there. It's going to, it's not going to give me the opportunity to kind of like think about it. See, like that. So you can see the blue, the bright blue, and then the bohemian blue is the darker blue underneath it. But I do like the direction that this is heading in. All right, I'm back. Did you miss me? All right. I'm like 50, in my late 50s, and I still buy baby wipes from Costco. It's like I started 20 years ago and never stopped. Yeah, I love it. It is a really pretty blue, and it matches that bird and that top pattern really well, which is really cool. So yes, I think the voices in our head like have a party together, and then they come back and you know, torment us. Oh yeah. What part of Colorado? I don't remember what part of Colorado you're from, if you're comfortable sharing it. So Bohemian, what about turning Bohemian blue into an area of water? Good idea. A pond? Yes. Yeah, I like that idea too. I think the big thing is what's going to happen inside that orange. I need to add reds to it, and I need to give it some more dimension. And you see the circles? Should I be carrying the circle? Should I be carrying the leaves? Should the leaves be carrying out across as well? And then you got in the decoupage paper, then you've also got like that really awesome pattern going across the top. You know, I definitely could find something like a boho stamp to do something to continue that. I don't know, but yeah. So now it's just some thinking, some reminiscing. But the thing I'm going to do when I get off the camera after saying goodnight to you guys is the brushes that I have all my paint on. I'm going to I have these 4x4 squares right within grabbing distance. I buy these bulk on Amazon, and if you've been following me for a little bit, you saw that series I did where I kept layering things up. So I'm gonna just be painting a bunch of these with some of those colors. I hate wasting my paint. And then I've also got like this 2 big pieces of cheap art I got from Buy Nothing, and I might just go on top of that too with my paint brushes. I'm just going to start layering up those for what I don't know. So, oh, Colorado Springs. Okay. Yeah, I know the area. I worked in Grand Lake one summer with my best friend, and I loved Grand Lake and Estes Park. And I ended up going through Colorado Springs at some point with my sister a couple of summers later when we were doing on the road. Oh my God, you guys, guess who's here? It's my favorite Scottish woman. Everybody say hi to Lael, the mastermind behind the beautiful pieces of decoupage paper. Bill, I'm so happy that you're here. Yeah, I've just, I don't know how long you've been watching for. I know I'm kind of embarrassed. But yeah, Lael, what can I say? You knocked it out of the park again with your papers today. I've been so inspired for Tom, and I told everybody here the story about how Tom, your dad, was the inspiration behind the paper, and how when I saw the paper, it reminded me of my dad because he loved birds as well. So I think it's, I don't know, I felt like a big connection with you when I heard that and felt totally like, okay, now I absolutely have to do something with this paper and it's going to go for it. So it's fun. It's really fun. I mean, like, it's so much more, for me, it's so much more than cutting up decoupage paper and gluing it down. Like, first of all, how can I make this piece of furniture pretty again, or make it, somebody want it in their room? And then, like, how can I take something that my brain maybe has been like working on, for the last 20 years since my dad passed away, and process it a bit more on a piece of art? I don't know. Yes, 2:30 a.m. in Scotland. That's the life of a small business owner for you. And Lael was up late last night too, sending me files and stuff, which I will be using this week, Lael. But yeah, Lael, you and Marty are just amazing, and I'm so proud to be representing your brand and having your decoupage paper in my art repertoire. Like, it makes me happy. I mean, at the end of the day, I use this paper because it makes me happy. So thank you for that. It's cheaper than drugs. So, all right. Well, I don't think it's going to get any better than that, everybody. I am going to, oh, thank you, Lael. That's so nice of you. Keep coming back to this space, watching what I'm doing here. I'll probably work a little bit on this off camera, and then like post it on Facebook or something like that, so you guys can track my progress. But by the time I get to the front, when I will share that. We'll do another live. So look out for another live in a couple of days. So I think with that, I'm going to zoom up here and just thank you, everybody, once again for supporting my small business. Appreciate it so much. I had no idea that running this business would introduce me to people like Lael and people like you. I've gotten to know a few of you quite well, Marla, Amanda, because of this, and I really appreciate your friendship. And yeah, the benefits of doing this are much more than what I ever knew could be possible. So, all right, I'm gonna stop babbling and say goodnight. Talk to y'all later.